Hey everybody, welcome to our episode today, episode 45. I'm here with Gerry McEvoy. He's a district manager at Sutherland Lumber Company. He's a great guy I've gotten to know over a handful of years now, and been an absolute joy to work with. And he's a very influential manager over at Sutherland's, and we're going to have a little chat about his experience there and his journey and all the good things that Sutherland's has to offer. So, Gerry, thank you for joining me today. Really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
And you guys are in town right now for...
That's right. We have a convention, a vendor convention we call the College of Knowledge.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. It's really cool that you guys bring in all the assistant managers and store managers throughout all 60 locations, and you guys get to interact and look at a lot of the products that are being in the shelves.
That's right.
Or on the shelves.
Yeah, and it's a great opportunity for them to network
Mm-hmm.
with the buyers, the vendors, and also associates at other stores. They get to network with them and have contacts that can use as a reference down the road.
Sure. So how did you get your start with Sutherland's? Kind of walk us through that story.
I was at the University of Arkansas. I was on the track team. And
Originally from Ireland.
Originally from Ireland.
Okay.
And Mark Sutherland was on the team, and he offered me a position with the company. That was back in 1980.
Wow. So what year is this for you at Sutherland's?
I had a break in service,
Okay.
so it's been 34 years
Wow.
I've been with the company.
So you've seen a lot.
Yes,
And I'm sure you worked with Mark's dad at that time as well.
that's right. It's
Gotcha.
John Sutherland.
Very good. What is the Sutherland history, kind of in a nutshell? I know it's over a 100-year-old company.
Yeah, founded in 1917, service to the oil fields in Oklahoma and Kansas, and that got the start, and then went into the home improvement business and was very successful.
Sure. And so they were originally building the wood scaffolding
That's
that,
right.
that went on the oil rigs
That is correct.
in the early 1900s.
That's right.
So they provided all the lumber.
All the lumber building materials.
And when did they switch to home improvement?
In the 30s.
In the 30s.
Yeah, right around the time of the Depression.
Gotcha. And there's 60 locations now, or is
That
it
is
59, 60?
Close to 60.
Gotcha.
And we're growing. We're
Sure.
adding new locations. We've got a new store going in La Junta.
La Junta, Colorado.
Yes.
Very nice. And have there been a few other openings, store locations?
Other locations, Huntsville is recent. That was last year.
Huntsville,
Stuttgart,
Arkansas.
Yes. Stuttgart, Arkansas, about 4 years ago.
Nice. And then Clinton, Oklahoma as well.
That is correct.
So four new stores in the last 3 or 4 years.
Yes.
Pretty awesome. So when we talk to people about Sutherland's, I like to. People say, well, is it like a Home Depot or a Lowe's or Menards? But I think there's much more of a neighborhood community aspect that maybe those other big box office stores don't have. And I like to call you guys like a hybrid between a local hardware store and a Menards or Home Depot. You guys are kind of in between that. And the folks that I know that shop at Sutherland's, they go in there because they see the same managers, they see the same employees, and a lot of those managers know the names of the people that are going into the stores, and it's a lot more friendly of an atmosphere. I think you guys have some of the best customer service in the home improvement retail space. So,
Thank you. Yeah.
Go ahead.
We do focus on the people.
Mm-hmm.
We lean into the people and having that personal contact with our people.
Mm-hmm.
We've been told from recruits that they didn't feel that it was personalized in a past employment, and it is at Sutherland's. Our people matter.
Sure.
And we work with them if they have issues, if they have things that they need accommodation for. It's a two-way street.
Sure.
We work with our people.
Yeah, love that. What else makes something unique about Sutherland's versus some other places you've like your competitors?
Yeah, the ownership's involvement is a very big asset.
Mm-hmm.
They don't micromanage, they support. They give us the tools and the encouragement and the opportunity to find new ways to do business, to add value to the customer's shopping experience.
Mm-hmm.
Not only in the products, but in the services, like in installation.
Mm-hmm.
That's a new category for us. And being able to recruit those type of individuals has been a key advantage for us.
Sure. So if someone is looking to maybe come work at Sutherland's and be part of the the family that you guys have built, what are the characteristics of people who excel at Sutherland's?
Generally, they've got a background in retail. That's the first thing that we look for, and then progress that they've made through their past employment is important. That we
Longevity.
Longevity.
Yeah.
Also, if they've been rewarded with elevated positions, that's important. We look for things that are transferable from what they've done in the past to what we would like them to do.
Sure. What kind of growth trajectory do you guys have? If someone's coming in and maybe they want to get into management, or they want to run their own store one day, or they want to be a district manager one day, what does that look like?
It looks strong. It looks real strong. An example would be last year we hired Eric Allward, and within a year he got his own store.
Sure.
He got one of the busiest stores in the company.
Sure.
And he did that because he had experience, but he also had drive, and he also had great execution skills. So those type of attributes and performances are always rewarded.
Sure. What are you seeing in the marketplace for candidates and recruiting? What has your experience been, 10, 15 years ago compared to what it is today? How have things changed?
It's accelerating.
Yeah.
Yeah, the opportunity for advancement, the opportunity, for example, to have a niche category. We have just about all of our stores have a need for barn salesmen, installation salesmen. Generally, they're on commission. I mean, it's a rewarding position. So that's at every store. And then pipeline, we want assistant managers in pipeline so that they're ready for promotions as we open new stores.
Sure. And I know you guys, the store managers, I think the average tenure is over 25 years.
That's correct.
Which is amazing, but you also are kind of coming up to some folks retiring.
That is right.
And there's a big need to bring in some future leaders.
That's correct.
And I think it's hard to find companies nowadays where people stay around for 20 plus years. I mean, heck, even 10 years. And I think the pendulum's starting to swing back. I think there's people that are starting to crave having more of a stable company, that the ownership group is looking out for your best interests. They are committed to you. They do meet with you on a monthly, quarterly basis. And so there are a lot of unique offerings that Sutherland's has that a lot of these big corporations, they don't even consider.
Yeah, and we hear from our recruits that the work-life balance is out of balance. And that's taken in deep consideration of Sutherland's. And we make sure that we're not draining our employees, that they have time to refresh, that they have time on important occasions or weekends that are important to them. We make sure that they're in the picture also. So the work-life balance is sustainable at Sutherland's.
Yeah, and that's been a big focus. We talked to folks coming over from Home Depot and Lowe's, and they have a whole night shift and whole night crew. And it can be hard for those people to get off that night shift. Also, they're open way later than you guys are.
Yes.
You guys have a little bit more sustainable hours. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah,
that at all?
The hours of business generally are 7 to 7, so we close at 7. One of our recent recruits is doing very well for us, Josh, and he is working noon to 2 in the morning.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and beyond that, there was unreasonable expectations placed upon him that, no good, well-intended company would do.
And where was he working?
He was working at Home Depot.
Home Depot. So he was working the noon to 2 a.m. shift.
Yes.
And he looks at you guys, and it seems like a much better transition, much better long-term career fit.
Yeah, and the one thing that he mentioned was he felt like he's been treated as a person.
Sure. Not just a number. And we see that with some Home Depot and Lowe's store managers. They're actually just given a number for the store.
Yeah.
And it's almost like a prison system in a way. I mean, that's a little extreme, but they categorize every store just by a number. Whereas you guys go into a city, and that city and that community becomes your identity.
That's
So,
right. And we recognize that time spent at the job is only one component. It's what you do when you're there. How innovative are you? Do you bring added value to it? Do you find better ways to do things? Do you contribute in that regard? And those are important things that make the store stronger and also find new opportunities and new ways of doing business.
sure. What's the leadership style like?
Uh,
What does your mentality have to be as a store manager or assistant store manager?
Really need to look out for staff. A self-centered person is not going to be successful. You got to be looking out for the bigger picture. You got to be a person that is looking to motivate and also support the staff. Micromanaging is not a really strong suit for us. We like to give our people, and certainly our recruits, because generally they are bringing substantial experience to the table. We find that giving them guidelines and space and time and opportunity to show their best work really works well.
And you mentioned a little bit about barns, and I think a lot of people that are casual shoppers at Sutherland's, they don't realize the bigger ticket items
Yeah.
that you guys can provide, and the barn dominiums, the pole barns. I don't know if you guys do decking and patios and things like that. Yeah, I know some stores can be different than others, but you want to touch base on that and what the future of that looks like, especially with the tiny homes, the barn dominiums?
Yeah, there's such a vast assortment of opportunities. You got the tiny homes. That's an opportunity. You've got the barns, and that's probably our bread and butter. We sell a ton of barns in Arkansas. We've sold over 1,500 in the last decade.
Wow.
And so that's a great opportunity. Garages.
Sure.
Now these are all installed sales where the customer, we build a rapport, we build a trust, we have a record. It's a verifiable record for the customer to see that we've done this for a long time. We're really good at what we do.
Yeah.
Okay, and then the installations is a new category that we started this year. Just had a big sale actually today. A house remodel for $170,000.
Yeah.
But it was in the pipeline for a while.
Sure.
It was being worked, it was being nurtured, and it came to fruition today.
Sure.
And we're doing decks, we're doing bathroom remodels, kitchen remodels,
Wow.
roofing. All of that is a variety of products that there's a market for.
Sure. If someone wants, potential customer of that, if they want to go find out more information, do they go online? Do they call the individual store?
They can go online. If they're doing Google search, we're there. We show up on Google search.
Sure.
And also we have strong programs within the store where our associates are trained to get the information, and then we'd have a trained salesperson contact them.
Nice. Lastly, you've obviously seen a lot, multiple decades at Sutherland's. What are you most excited about kind of going into the future here over the next decade with Sutherland's and what they have to offer?
The mobility of Sutherland's is a strong suit. We may be small in comparison to Lowe's and Home Depot, but we're very innovative and nimble. There's a lot of opportunity that's going to surface with AI, with being able to target, market to specific customers. That is going to be a clear advantage for us as we move forward. And that's going to force, as it already is, more stores. We're going to need more potential in the people that we hire, and leadership and management capacity.
Excellent. Well, awesome, Gerry. This has been great.
Okay.
Is there anything you want to add, anything you want to tell our audience?
Well, those who have joined us have recently in the last 2 years, all of them have said that it's the best place they've ever worked.
Sure.
And that's from the top down. That's from the ownership that has empowered us to provide this type of culture to where when you go to work, there's no hesitation, there's no dread. You enjoy going to work.
Love that. Yeah, retention has been definitely a strong suit of you guys, and whenever we get to recruit on any of the stores that are in your district, I'm always excited because you're a heck of a manager and a leader and a motivator, and a lot of these folks are lucky to be working with you. And what are all the stores that are under your umbrella?
We've got the Wichita Falls.
Yep.
We've got the Lawton store in Oklahoma.
Okay.
We've got the Huntsville store in Arkansas, Stuttgart store in Arkansas, and then Fort Smith.
Fort Smith, so those 5 stores.
Yes.
So if you get the opportunity to interview at any of those stores, you'll meet Gerry maybe on the interview or
Yes.
somewhere along the process. But this has been excellent. Thank you so much for
Thank
your time.
you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Great.